My darlings, my cherubs, my wonderful bebés, I really hope you're doing okay in this mad and crazy world. And I'm just trying to reach out as much as possible with posts everywhere, videos. In fact, maybe I'm the reason why there is so much mental health. Maybe I am the one driving you all mad. Who knows? I do hope not. I'm just greatly concerned because I know that kids with different abilities, disabilities, neurodiversities are already born with far higher levels of cortisol, a stress hormone, the enemy of the body, than neurotypical children. So they're way more susceptible to mental health issues and challenges as they get older. And these have been weird times. You know, our young people who have gone to university and have spent most of it at home, they've missed out on that whole social thing. My youngest son, Charles, you know, he started his college at 13. You're meant to be finding yourself, you know, finding who you like, building on all those social and life skills, that interaction. It's all been removed, and it's been removed for us older adults too. And mental health as a result has really spiraled. Not only are people still very much in their bubbles, even though those are now invisible bubbles around them, because we've become very fear-based as a society, as a world, but people are really low. They're really depressed. It's just gone on a bit too long. So my last video I made was all about massaging the hands to help alleviate anxiety, depression, and help with mental health. Currently in the UK, we have the highest suicide rate, and young men in particular find it very difficult to come forwards. So this really is a video for everybody, whether you're disabled, differently abled, neurodiverse, neurotypical, for anybody out there who is going through anxiety, mental health, stress. You know, I want to share with you today a little bit about massaging the feet, because most people love having their hands and feet massaged. And if somebody's in a hospital bed with loads of wires, or they're undergoing cancer treatment, you know, and it's all that self-image, self-esteem, not feeling human, you know, sometimes the only parts of them you can get to are their hands and their feet. You know, I've gone into hospices before and I've worked very much in this way, you know, particularly for women who have had breasts removed and things like that, because, you know, it's getting used to a different body image. It's that touch because, just because, and not because it's medical or to feed somebody. And if you're a therapist and you're going into schools, you know, at the moment schools, it's very much, you know, a no touch policy. Even though we can all crowd into events and gigs and work that one out. I can't go there. I can't. I'm mad enough as it is. I don't need to add that on top. So I thought, yes, I've shown you the hands, I've shown you the feet. And when I find people who, even people who are really not keen on touch, most people love to have a little foot rub or to have their hands done. And if you're a therapist and you're working with people through Zoom, you can get people to mirror what I'm showing you today. And that's really important because, you know, you're handing over those tools to your client and saying, look, you know, you can do this for yourself. You don't need me to even be there. So you're arming people with what they need. I call it toolboxes for adults, but treasure boxes for all my little ones. They make treasure boxes of different therapies and techniques that they can use by themselves, on themselves, wherever. Now the hand one is really easy to do if you're at school or in assembly or something like that. The foot one is a little bit more tricky, although if you're sitting cross-legged in assembly you could get away with it. It would be perfectly fine, because from what I gather from assemblies in secondary schools and colleges at the moment, it's all piling on that stress even more, and it's really not helping our kids. I don't really think the government has taken into account just how much our kids have gone through actually, and how much they've lost. And time is the one thing you can't get back. Life cards, not a problem, we all get those. It's what we do with them that matters. But time is one thing we can't get back. So the thought of us coming out of COVID and people being stuck and stagnant in their lives because they've now picked up all these mental health issues, particularly anxiety and depression, just makes me feel really, really sad. So if you don't like having your head touched or your back, or, you know, some of my other therapies, they might not be for you. Let's see how you get on with your feet. So I share loads on here. So, you know, if this isn't for you, scroll back through my videos. I cover so much. There's going to be something for someone. There's going to be something for everyone. And most things that I share are totally inclusive of mobility, ability. It's not costing you anything. You know, these are things to help you take your mental health in hand. And depression is a horrible, horrible thing. I mean, I actually think I don't like the word disability, but I actually think depression is. I think it's an invisible, absolutely terrifying and absolutely black disability, a dark, dark thing to go through. And I just want to do my best to help in whatever way I can. So today I'm going to do a little bit on the feet. First of all, I had to find a pair of socks that matched. It's a bit chilly in here today. That's why I'm all layered up. Yeah, so the first thing is, good job I've got bendy legs, by the way. So if you just, you do both feet like you do both hands, because the muscles of the hands relate to the muscles of the brain. When you're working on the feet, you've got all the reflex points to all the major organs of the body, just as it works in reflexology. All these therapies overlap. So if I'm going to start with first my left foot, I had to think about that then, I think I need a bit more caffeine. And if you just very gently massage the tops of your toes, just the tops, you are helping to alleviate and fight depression. Now, I'm not saying for 1 minute that if you're in an absolute awful hole of depression, that if you massage your toes, you're suddenly going to leap up, get your party shoes on and go to a free party. I'm not saying that at all. But with regular practice, and it really doesn't take long, if you do this, it really does ease and soothe that depression, because what you're actually doing when you massage the tops of your toes, I'm doing the other foot now, you're actually stimulating the neurotransmitter called serotonin, which is all part of your daily dose. The daily dose being dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And those are the four main, as I call them, happy hormones and coping chemicals. So when you do this, you're stimulating serotonin, and that is the neurotransmitter of self-esteem, confidence, and happiness. And normally I would just do this cross-legged. I wouldn't sit, you know, in my car and suddenly start doing this, because, I mean, I know I am a bit of a weirdo, but, you know, there's no need to advertise it everywhere. Also, my children are often in the car with me, and I think they just get out rapidly. Mind you, they usually do that when I'm trying to park. They want to get out of the way of people getting their phones out to record how bad it is. Do you know, once I got a parking ticket well, I was threatened with a parking ticket because of my parking. I drive like an English lady, but I park like an Italian. Sorry, I can't help it. He was a lovely traffic warden. It was Christmas time, and I was delivering a big box of stuff to the Children's Society, and my parking was atrocious. And he said, "You do know that I could give you a ticket for that parking?" I mean, that's really embarrassing, isn't it? Anyway, I must get back to the foot massage. Anyway, he was lovely. I said, "Oh, please don't. It's Christmas. Come on, you know, I'm going into a charity shop. I'll give you a hug," even though it was COVID. So I had to emanate it. But that was fine. He was quite happy with that, and I got my stuff delivered. So then the other thing you can do is you can just press and release the middle of your big toe. So press, hold for 2 or 3 seconds, and release. Press, hold for 2 or 3 seconds and release. And then do the other one. Press, hold for 2 or 3 seconds and release. That's just your big toe. Your big toe is your head, actually. So you are really getting those happy hormones and coping chemicals going. And this is a really fantastic one for alleviating depression. I actually do it morning and night if I'm hitting a little bit of a low, because we're all human and we all do, and we all have worries, you know, and that's all part of the spectrum of who we are. And in this day and age, it's completely understandable. There's so much going on that is out of our control. And, you know, depression, when everything boils down to love or fear, and depression is boiling down to fear, really. So we want to boost that self-esteem, boost that happiness, boost that confidence, because 80% of what we worry about will never happen anyway. And 12% of it we can't do anything about. But this little bit we can take control of, use it, because if it's done even 2 or 3 times a week, you know, you are really going to notice a difference after a week or so. So it won't be immediate, but just do it as part of your, I do it morning and night, you know, and it really is really wonderful. The next point is kind of a solar plexus point, and I could describe it to you as being, you know, kind of 2-3 finger pads down from the middle of the second and third toes. But an easier way to find it is if you squash your foot together, just at the sides of the foot here, squash them together, and the deepest point, the deepest hollow, if you massage there, you're massively relieving anxiety and depression. The solar plexus actually is almost, it's like the seat of our immunity. It's the seat of the will. And when we're depressed, our will can feel broken. It can feel thin. It can feel flat. We just feel like we've got no control. We've given up. So when you massage here, that's a really, really, really important point. So I'm going to do it on the other. Look, I coordinated my socks with my outfit as well. They're little spotty ones, you know, because I'm so mature. So you squash your foot together again. See, I'm squashing it like this at the top. And it's that deepest point, and off you go. And it can be middle finger pressure. If you've got your legs crossed, sometimes I do it with just my thumb. Let me try and lift my legs up a bit. Even on this beanbag, I'm too little. Oh, there you go, you can see me now. Look, so I'm just literally massaging that point there. I've got to show you with my finger on here. So squash your foot together, deepest point, and off you go. It's a little bit like the one I shared with you last week about the hand. You know, when you cup your hand and you go to that hollow bit of the palm, you're working on the stomach. So, which houses dread, anxiety, fear, depression. It's all there. The stuff we're not digesting, that's stopping our lives, it's stagnating us. We want to get rid of that. Enough is enough. Whatever's going on out there is going on, but we have control over how we react to that and how we can find ways to cope and make our way through. I was quite serious then. I nearly scared myself. Anyway, when you do this, you're also, when you're on this bit, you're also working on the lungs as well. So you are really, really opening up that diaphragm like you do in yoga. When you do that breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, you're expanding your diaphragm, you're clearing your lungs. Lungs are about relationships with ourselves, relationships with family, husbands, wives, partners, our children, the world outside, the workplace, everything. So, and very often when we carry worry, because lungs are about joy, and our lungs can feel really, we start to get, when we're under long-term depression, we can get aches and pains. Our bodies are depleted in that serotonin and oxytocin, the hormone of love and nurture. So when we do anything involving touch, within 20 seconds we're releasing the oxytocin. And then when you're working on the tops of the toes, the middle of the big toe, and then that hollow bit, when you squash your foot together, you're really stimulating that serotonin, which is huge, huge for mental health. We really need those serotonin levels up, that delicious happy hormone. We need to get happy again. We need to find our way through, and we will. The final thing I'm going to share with you is, if you do this, again, only 2 or 3 times a week, I do it every day, I have to say, most days, but you know, if you don't have time, it's fine. You know, I don't want ever my therapies to feel like, oh my God, it's something else I've got to add on to the day, because it's meant to be relaxing. So 2 or 3 times a week is fine. And I always recommend doing this before sleep for obvious reasons. It's going to help you sleep. But when you massage the foot all over, I'm sorry, I look like a little monkey in leather trousers. When you massage the whole foot, and I actually really like to do it with my thumb because I can get in a lot deeper. You might notice some parts of your feet feel tender. Look up, in fact, what I'll do, I will post on Anna Kennedy online, because I write for her every single Monday. I write her an article to accompany these YouTube videos. So if you click on Anna Kennedy online, when you do your foot massage, notice which parts feel tight and which parts feel tender. And I'll post on Anna Kennedy online a reflexology diagram of the foot. And where you're tender and where you're tight, see which part of the body that relates to, and that will give you a very good indication of where you are at, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So if it's a tender bit, be tender. If it's a tougher bit, go in a bit firmer. But you're massaging the entire body when you massage the feet. So you're getting all 4 of the happy hormones going. The dopamine, that delicious euphoric feeling of reward, focus, perspective, clear thinking. Those are massive when you want to help fight depression. Getting things in perspective, having that focus. You're getting up the serotonin, the oxytocin, but also the endorphins, which is like zooming into Morrison's and buying a 12-pack special of donuts, eating the lot, and not one dimple. That's endorphins. It also helps with pain relief. So if you've been long-term depressed and you are actually suffering with inexplicable aches and pains, and you've just kind of got used to it. I was speaking with somebody at the weekend and they said, oh, I just thought that was my body. I thought that was just something I had to get used to. And this person has been through an awful lot. She's had a battering. And that's actually not true. The aches and pains are a result of long-term depression. So really massage those feet, and it will massively help you with boosting all of those happy hormones, easing anxiety, and helping you to get through. And if we sleep better, we're going to wake up feeling able to cope and function better. So I've been like a little monkey today, and I've absolutely no idea what traffic wardens have got to do with massaging the feet, but there you go. I am a little bit random, but you know, try and stay strong. Try and take hold of that little bit of worry that you are in control of, i.e. how you respond to it, react to it, get through it. So I really hope that demonstrating massaging on the feet has helped. If you enjoyed that one, check out my video from last week about massaging the hands, because it all relates. And I just wish you all a really, really gorgeous week, a happy week, and we are all going to get through this together. If you like my video, can you do me a little thumbs up? Because honestly, my serotonin levels are uncontainable when I see those. And as I say every week, I don't make a single penny from my articles. I don't make a single penny from these videos. I am doing it because I genuinely care. And I hate the thought that there are people and children, you know, young kids, adults, suffering out there. And I really know on a personal level what that feels like. And I don't want people to feel like this. So this is genuine sharing. If you're a therapist, use these things I've shared with you, incorporate them. You can use them in Zoom sessions. People can mirror you. You can get people in face-to-face sessions to mirror you. Don't just do things for people when they're depressed, because it just reinforces that feeling within them that they can't do anything for themselves. So it's empowering to get them to do it for themselves. Everybody loves a wonderful foot massage, but share some techniques that they can do for and on themselves, because immediately when you empower someone, you raise their serotonin levels by 16%. That's before you've even touched them. So our bodies are actually miraculous. And the more neuroscience training I do, the more questions I have, but I love that. I get excited by that. I'm so curious, and I'm unbearably buzzing about because I just want to know more, because it's so fascinating. So this stuff works. You know, it's neuroscience. It's not arriving to you on YouTube on a puff of cloud, you know, from Glastonbury. And I really love Glastonbury, so that's absolutely no offence to people from Glastonbury. I actually love Glastonbury, very, very much so. I go there and go up the tour, and that fills me with serotonin, and I adore it, and I feel grounded and energised. But, you know, when I speak to you in this way, you know, it's not new age, it's not holistic, it's not well-being, it's not alternative. I hate those words. I actually detest them. What I'm sharing with you is very, very neuroscientifically researched and proven, and it will ease and help with these issues that you might be going through. So if you know of anybody who this might help, please share my channel, because I'm sharing it with integrity. I'm not sharing it for financial reasons. I just want to help. So I'm going to stop talking now. My videos always go on for so much longer than I promise. I wonder if anybody ever gets to the end of them. I shouldn't really say that on my own YouTube channel, should I? I'm so badly behaved. There had to be a bit of bad behaviour somewhere. Anyway, have a lovely week, everybody. And I shall see you next Monday with some more tips on different things. And if there's anything you particularly would like some help with, please drop me an email. You know, this channel is not a Juliana show. God forbid. Can you imagine? No, don't imagine. It won't help you. But if you have anything you would really like me to specifically address, please email me. It's info@therapiesforspecialneeds.co.uk. I'm also on Facebook, Juliana Wheater. I've got a big public Facebook group called Online Rainbow Therapies for Kids and Families. Join that. I post every day on that. Again, none of this, I don't get any money from this. It's just the joy of knowing that I can reach out to so many more people now since COVID. So I'm going to leave you in peace, promise. I've promised that 3 times, but 3 times lucky I'm going. So I shall see you next week, and just please look after yourself.